This is 7 National News, and in our top story, His Highness Sheikh Mohammed bin Zayed Al Nahyan, the Crown Prince of Abu Dhabi and Deputy Supreme Commander of the UAE Armed Forces, held talks with His Royal Highness Prince Salman bin Hamad Al Khalifa, the Crown Prince, the Deputy Supreme Commander and First Deputy Prime Minister of Bahrain in Abu Dhabi. During a meeting held in the capital on Monday, His Highness Sheikh Mohammed bin Zayed and Prince Salman bin Hamad Al Khalifa discussed the current developments in the region with a focus on issues related to GCC's security and stability. The two leaders also exchanged views on ways to further improve and strengthen bilateral relations between the UAE and Bahrain. On the occasion, His Highness Sheikh Mohammed bin Zayed expressed hope that the people of Bahrain would continue their march for progress and development under the wise leadership of His Majesty King Hamad bin Isa. During the interaction, Prince Salman commended His Highness Sheikh Mohammed bin Zayed for his leadership and said that the GCC is one coherent family and shares similar traditions and customs. His Highness Sheikh Nahyan bin Mubarak Al Nahyan, the UAE Minister for Culture and Knowledge Development, has said that the consumer trends of news media will be dictated by the young generation and called on organizations to retain their core values. His Highness Sheikh Nahyan bin Mubarak Al Nahyan delivered a keynote address to inaugurate the 12th edition of the World Association of Newspapers and News Publishers Middle East Conference. Over 50 senior leaders of regional print and digital media organizations gathered during the conference to lead discussions surrounding the changing media landscape, as well as current challenges facing the industry. During his address, His Highness Sheikh Nahyan called on media organizations to keep up with rapid technological changes in the modern age, while also calling on media houses to provide young people with the skills to become smart, active consumers of news. In line with the recommendations of His Highness Sheikh Nahyan, the Managing Director of Dubai Production City stated that the Free Zone has launched an initiative to equip media outlets with the infrastructure and training mechanisms through their innovation hub in 5. Despite the current environment, it was added that the industry has a bright future, which can also stimulate other sectors of the economy.
Creation of content in general, whether it's content for our wider population or the Arabic content opportunities that are available today is immense. And with the introduction of innovation, introduction of development, so for us today, for instance, we not only focus on attracting multinationals, we attract SMEs, and we attract startups through different platforms that we have developed over the last years. And these platforms include something called N5 Media, which is a platform that will be launched very soon, which will result in more innovation within this sector, at least from the creation of content point of view.
The forum also featured talks led by leaders of international media houses who shared their success stories in line with technological evolution. With over 6 million views to their website daily, Daily Mail Online, the CEO of Daily Mail Group, stated that the digital evolution should be viewed as an opportunity to target a wider audience, while also developing other segments such as video content.
We've been in newspaper publishing since 1896. And we have seen many changes, and we have seen lots of doomsayers saying that newspaper publishing is dead. I think the big thing that I was trying to get across is that quality journalism, in whatever media that journalism is presented, is still going to be the core of our success. And our newspapers in the UK continue to command high circulations, very big readerships, high engagement levels. And although we see newspaper sales falling, as they are in many parts of the world, as we see advertising being competed for across more and more media, and newspapers obviously losing some share in that space, I think that we can continually reinvent the newspaper publishing model, and sitting alongside a digital media model with the foundation of good quality popular journalism, where facts are verified, where we can entertain as well as inform, I think that the combination will have many years still to come.
Cases of maternal death during or after childbirth are almost unheard of in the UAE. However, within a close geographic proximity to the Emirates is Afghanistan, which continues to be labelled as one of the world's most dangerous places to give birth. Dr. Claire Fotheringham, medical advisor of obstetrics and gynecology, has been with the NGO Médecins Sans Frontières since 2011 and has been actively working with the agency's medical facilities in Afghanistan to improve the conditions in the war-torn country. According to Dr. Claire, Afghanistan suffers from a high maternal death rate, with 1 in 50 women in the country facing a threat of losing their life at childbirth due to complications, whereas in the UAE the figure is as low as 1 in 8,000. The high mortality rate is largely attributed to lack of medical facilities as well as human resource issues related to limited number of qualified medical professionals and midwives. MSF operates a total of 4 maternal facilities in Afghanistan, 2 of which are located in the capital Kabul, 1 in Khost province and the other in the southern Helmand province. According to the figures from MSF, 4,300 women die every year in Afghanistan due to birth complications, while 2/3 of all births have no skilled attendant due to the culture of deliveries at home. While patients have to travel a long distance to reach facilities with adequate care, terrorism-related incidents are another factor contributing to a high maternal death rate.
About 40% of women that lose their lives as a result of pregnancy and childbirth, it's due to bleeding complications. There are other complications of pregnancy. Most of them directly relate to the pregnancy themselves. So 75% of the overall deaths are due to just 5 complications: bleeding, infections, obstructed labour, unsafe abortion, and high blood pressure conditions of pregnancy. Probably the one that really stays with me is a woman who was having her 5th child. She was delivered in a very rural area. It was at night time, so it was really dangerous. She couldn't leave the house because it's, with the night time, it's just too risky. So she had the baby and everything was fine, but then started to bleed, and unfortunately continued to bleed. The moment it was light, her husband put her in the car and travelled from a completely different province to find our hospital to treat her. But unfortunately, by the time she arrived, she'd just lost too much blood and there was nothing we could do to save her.
Despite the current challenges, Dr. Claire revealed that MSF facilities have assisted in 55,000 successful births in 2015 and the figure reached over 66,000 successful cases in 2016. Education was highlighted as the most important aspect for combating the issue of maternal death rates, and MSF is currently in the process of training the young women to be midwives. The organisation is also involved in equipping other facilities in remote locations to reduce the time it takes to receive medical attention.
And one of the things that we've seen since we went back into Afghanistan is the way that local Afghan people have really taken over the roles in our hospital that we used to send outside doctors in to fill and outside midwives in to fill. So now the midwife supervisors, the doctor supervisors are often local Afghan women that have really taken on those roles and responsibilities. And it's just wonderful to see the way that they've developed over that time, from some of them, for example, some of the doctors doing their first caesarean sections to now actually supervising others to do that and teaching and training that next generation.
The Ministry of Health and Prevention has reaffirmed that the medicine called Flumox is not available in the UAE and warned travellers about the risks of bringing it into the country. The ministry also warned all segments of society about sharing health videos, particularly those related to medications. A video dating back to 2015 was being shared regarding a broad-spectrum antibiotic named Flumox, a medicine produced by Egypt's EPICO. The ministry said that it is not allowed for people to share these videos because it creates fear and gives the wrong impression about the country of origin and the manufacturing company, which is considered one of the best in Egypt. According to local reports, Dr. Amin Hussein Al-Amiri, the Assistant Under-Secretary for Public Health Policy and Licensing at the ministry, said Flumox is not registered for sale in the UAE. Al-Amiri urged the public not to spread any information related to health that was not issued by the ministry or official health authorities, and to call the ministry on the toll-free line 800 11111 for any inquiries. The UAE-based humanitarian aid agency Emirates Red Crescent distributed fresh batches of relief aid in Yemen on Monday. The UAE aid agency distributed relief aid to families living in Tarim Directorate of the Hadramaut Governorate in Yemen. Commenting on their effort, ERC officials were quoted in a report as saying that their latest aid package is a continuation of the UAE's humanitarian and relief role in Yemen to relieve the economic burden on Yemeni families, including women and children, who face severe shortages of necessities in many areas. Yemeni families thanked the UAE leadership, government and their people, as well as the ERC, for their efforts in meeting the needs of Yemeni people and normalizing their lives. This follows a food aid offered by Emirates Red Crescent to the inhabitants of Al Mokha town in Yemen, which included 3,000 food parcels and basic food items to the town's people. ERC's humanitarian efforts are focused on relief, healthcare and education in Yemen. And finally, in the bulletin, one of the leading British auction houses, Sotheby's, has launched their new office and gallery in Dubai International Financial Centre, showcasing art, jewellery and watch pieces from their international auction calendar for the next season in April and May. As part of the opening celebrations of Sotheby's in Dubai, key highlights from the company's upcoming global auctions of modern and contemporary Arab and Iranian art, treasures of the Islamic world, jewellery and watches will be exhibited and open for public until the 19th of March. According to officials, the launch of Sotheby's new office and gallery follows a year-on-year growth in the number of Middle Eastern clients, with a 30% increase in the number of buyers from the region over the past 5 years. While growth was achieved across various categories, including Middle Eastern art and old master paintings, officials stressed that jewellery in particular is a key focus area for Sotheby's in Dubai, which witnessed a 46% increase in the total value spent by clients in the region from 2015 to 2016. It was also revealed that Sotheby's sales are open to online bidding, wherein nearly 20% of purchases across their businesses across the region and abroad were made online last year. With 80 offices across 40 countries, including New York and London, the oldest company listed on the New York Stock Exchange is showcasing world-class works of art since 1744.
We're delighted to be here with a large team from Sotheby's International, and we're launching our gallery in Dubai in this fabulous space in the DIFC. We're showcasing highlights from our global sales, modern and contemporary Arab and Iranian art, arts of the Islamic world, highlights from our jewelry sales and our watches sales in New York and London. This is part of the beginning of a series of exhibitions and educational initiatives, and it's in response to the extraordinary uptick and upsurge of interest from our Gulf clients. We saw last year a 39% increase of clients from the United Arab Emirates alone in Sotheby's global sales. So there's a huge amount of interest which is growing all the time, and we're delighted to be here participating in this new stimulus and energy surrounding the art world.
Sotheby's does very well with our signed jewelry. We focus on vintage pieces by renowned makers such as Cartier, Van Cleef & Arpels, and Harry Winston. We have beautifully signed pieces that have lovely stories with rich history and provenance. And we pride ourselves in also wonderful white diamonds of beautiful quality, as well as colored gemstones, rubies, sapphires, and emeralds.